second half of 2022 for SYAXF. So far, the first half was extremely reliable. And so we can take a look here. I marked off the months, the starts of the month. So we have January, February. At the end of February, we have our first low, right? There's a low in February. And then in March, we have another low, and we also have a high in March. So we have a low in early March, high in March, in late March, high in April. Right, high in April, high in well, low in May, and then in early May, and then another high, and then we have a low in June, and the June low is not far from the year's low in June is not far from the June high. We also have that little peak there, that's a little spike there in early June. We have that little spike. And then in July, early July, we have another low, so we should see that relatively soon, guys. Early July, there's an important resistance level that's met near it. There's a trade opportunity. There's a swing trade opportunity here in the midst of a decline to a low, a sharp decline that increases in momentum after we meet a important resistance level. It increases in momentum into the prominent 1 year low or prominent trough. The trade opportunity takes place near that resistance level, and then in early July we have a low. Off of the low, there's a big move higher. The month's high for July takes place when we have a rally that moves along a diagonal trend line, breaks through horizontal resistance, meets a second resistance, and then pulls back to somewhere between the two. And the behavior towards the end of the month, we have like a minor trough at the end of the month. It looks like we're moving sideways at the end of the month along support. We rise, meet resistance, and then fall back down to that same support and move sideways along support. Looks like there's a cash-in opportunity at a crest at the very end of July or early August. There is the end of a rally in early August marked by a fast sudden move higher, and then a breakdown through diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. Looks like really probably starts towards the end of the first week or in the second week. The high for August takes place in the midst of some sideways, in the midst of some erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level. There's a sharp decline off of the August high as well that increases with momentum moving into the low. And then we have another prominent year's low or prominent trough at the end of August with a big move out of that low. There's a lot of ground covered, so a big move to reach the low and then a big move out of that low in late August. Swing trade opportunity around a resistance level there as well. And behavior around the month's low for August is going to be sideways rotation along support with a fast sudden move higher that marks the end of that rotation. We either have another high or another low in September, or it's the same low and it's right on the cusp between August and September. But there's a low there. Prominent year's low or trough, and a trade opportunity that takes place near support level. It's a year like a swing trade opportunity near support level, and that's a support level on a year-to-date chart. It looks like we have off of the month's high for September. We have sideways rotation along a support level, so likely a new support level. And then we have a sudden dip within that period of rotation. Behavior near the low for August, which is likely to be early in the month. Behavior near the low for September is likely to be near the beginning of September. It takes place. There's sideways, like a crisscrossing 3 times through the same price level. Once up, down, and then back up again. And in early September, we have a decline through a support level, meet a secondary support level, and then we move sideways along that support. In late September, we have a breakdown through support to meet a secondary support. We move sideways along that support, and then we break down through multiple supports. So out of the low, there's a bit of a rally. We create we turn a resistance level into support, and then we break down again through that. So there's a notable rally because the breakdown at the end of the month of September doesn't reach that low again, as far as I can see. In early October, we have 2 big moves in early October, a move up and then a full retracement back down, creating kind of like a wave, if you will. There's a notable reversal on a year-to-date chart near the low for October, and then in early October, so it's like up, down, and then there's a reversal there that's prominent on a 1-year chart in October. Out of that October low, there's a big move higher towards the end of the month to reach, and it increases with momentum as we move forward into the end of the month. So like the second half of the month, there's a big rally, and I'm advised to buy protection or open up a short position if possible, something like that. Maybe sell for profits there towards the. I'm advised to buy protection or hedge myself somehow if I can at the end of October. There's a crest there at the end of October or early November. It's a 1-year crest or prominent, 1-year high or prominent crest for the year. And there's it looks like that rally out of October continues into November to reach that crest, and then there's like a U-shaped dip there in early November. Behavior around the high for November is sideways fluctuations along a support level, so we likely meet a new support and then move sideways along it. There's a notable fake out on a year-to-date chart. It'll stand out. Notable fake out, shake out near the low for November. And then we have a big move higher in the end of November. However, it's crossed with, it's correlated to the theme card, which is a notable decline increasing with momentum as we move forward in time. So likely there's like in the end of November, we have like a dip and then a big move higher, and that dip is likely the low where we have that that big move higher. We reach a resistance level in early December, and we have some volatility increases in volatility as we move forward into the month. We attempt to establish support near the month's low for December. And then out for the month's high, we have a notable decline of flight to safety, revisiting past problems, unicursal hexagram there at the end of the month. So it looks like we have another year's low there at the end of the month. So really some good trade opportunities in here. You got to be nimble. And then the following year, the sneak preview for 2023 is an opportunity to open up long positions at either the same low or another or newer low, or either the same low or a lower low than 2022. There's an opportunity to open up long positions there in the midst of that decline, and that would be like on a multi-year chart. All right, guys, that's SYAXF. You want to see more of SYAXF? Hit that like button. And most importantly, my friends, when you make money from this reading, pay forward. I'll see you guys on the next one.